Hey guys, so little life update. My mic's still not working. I don't know if you can tell the audio is absolute garbage, but it is, so that's cool. Probably will need to buy a new one because, you know, having money. Also, it's like 9 a.m, 10 maybe. I woke up at 8 a.m. today, just like I've been doing for the last week or so, just trying to fix my sleeping schedule so I can actually do a proper 9 to 5, because if I don't do a 9 to 5, I don't get any work done, because then I think I have way too much time on my hands and I just don't do anything. So doing a 9 to 5 now. Also, I need to be held accountable, and if I don't say it now, I will not be held accountable. So I will be posting videos every other day. Yes, you heard me right. One week it'll be 3 videos, another week it'll be 4, and then 3, 4, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. Because as much as I like to convince myself that I have nothing to make a video on, I always have something to make a video on, because YouTubers are constantly f***ing up. And that's the tea for today. That's what we have gathered. So yeah, every other day, I want everyone to hold me accountable, posting every other day, because this YouTube thing is not forever, and if I don't make the most of it now, I'm going to regret it in 5 years' time. Eras here as emotional support. My stomach is rumbling because I still haven't had breakfast. If you hear that, don't be concerned. I am just fine, just slightly hungry. So I wanted to start off on the first story, but it's a little bit of a hard-hitting one. I'll put it in later on just in case. So it'll be the last story. If you don't want to hear something a little bit sad and just kind of like an accusation of sorts again, then just don't listen to that one. That'll be the last story. But let's just get into like more chill stories, I guess. So Emma Chamberlain went to Whole Foods, as every LA YouTuber does. I respect it. I respect Whole Foods. I like it. A little bit overpriced, but I like it. Emma Chamberlain went to Whole Foods, as you do, and she then was secretly filmed by a few TikTok stars that have like at least 1 million followers on Instagram, and no other than Antonio Garza. Yes, our queen, allegedly, someone that, you know, everyone likes, so unproblematic, so cool. Just filming Emma Chamberlain walking around the store with the soundtrack, uh-oh, Stinky, that one, playing, and Antonio Garza's like this whole thing of just like, oh, she stinks. And it's like, make the joke, make a tweet, I don't care. But when you follow someone around when they're just doing their like grocery shopping, don't do that. That's just, I need to stop looking there. There's where we look. That's just gross. That's one, an invasion of someone's privacy. Second of all, that's just gross. Like, just don't do that. You know, YouTubers tend to have this thing of like, oh, I am sensitive, don't leave me hate comments. And then they'll follow someone around a fucking Whole Foods saying they stink to millions of their fans. It's like, why do you think that Emma Chamberlain somehow just does not have feelings and you are just not able to hurt her? She's also a human being. Like, she does not want to go on TikTok and see herself walking around a Whole Foods to a soundtrack calling her stinky. And then Antonio Garza basically said that she wasn't aware of this situation, and that if she was, she wouldn't have like agreed to it, and she didn't know what the soundtrack was for. She didn't even realize Emma was there. Yeah, because there was like thousands of people in a Whole Foods. It's like, great. Yeah, because there's just so many people in Whole Foods. I saw maybe like 5 people in the background, because no one goes to Whole Foods because Whole Foods is expensive. So no, you did not just like, oh, I just didn't see Emma Chamberlain, I just didn't know you were shading Emma Chamberlain. No, you did. You absolutely did, and you thought you were going to get away with it because everyone jokes about Emma Chamberlain being stinky. Yeah, but no one follows her around Whole Foods filming her. It's just gross. Don't do that. Why is that something that you thought was acceptable in any way, shape or form? And then Antonio, I'm gonna sneeze again. It's that time of year. If I get ill, I swear. And then someone DMs Antonio Garza and she says, I'm not going to apologize because I didn't know this was happening and I didn't intend on, you know, like offending her, because I didn't even know this was a thing. And when I found out, I told him to delete the TikTok. The thing about offending people is it doesn't matter if you intend to do it. The matter of fact is you did it, and you need to just hold yourself accountable and apologize. It's like, if I say something to someone that I don't think is offensive, but they find offensive, matter of fact is I'm gonna need to apologize to them, because it's not up to me to decide who someone gets. It's not up to me to decide what someone gets upset about. It's just people get upset over different things. And sometimes you'll say something and it will upset someone, and you're just gonna have to take a bullet. What? Take the bullet? Take the fall, take the something, and apologize to them, because it's not up to you to decide what's gonna upset them. And that's that on that. And you going around filming Emma in a Whole Foods, calling her stinky while she's just doing her casual grocery shopping, and she wasn't actually a part of this joke. Because if you actually made her a part of this joke and was like, oh, let's just like poke fun at people poking fun at you, like, oh, let's do this whole ooh stinky thing, maybe she would have agreed to it, and maybe it would have been like, oh, kind of cool and quirky and you know, self-deprecating humor is a thing that Emma Chamberlain is into. She's been doing it for a while. But when you do it behind someone's back and then post it to millions of people, yeah, I'm not okay with that. I'm just not alright with that. Please just apologise and then all will be good and well. I know this doesn't really make a difference because it's like we should hold every human being to the same standard of being human. But if this was like someone with like 50 followers on TikTok who just saw Emma Chamberlain and was like, oh, this is my big break, I would have been like, oh, I probably wouldn't have cared because I probably wouldn't have even seen it. But the fact that all three, I think there was 3 or 4 people in that TikTok and all of them had hundreds of thousands of followers and some was even millions, and for you to think that you can just bully someone and then jump on Twitter and talk about how mental health is so important and we should just stop bullying people and just be nice to everyone. Yeah, shut the fuck up. I hate that. The people that preach mental health the most are the worst I've ever met, and that is that on that. I'm gonna get to the next story. It's also Emma Chamberlain. Emma Chamberlain made a video recently addressing the whole, oh, we want old Emma Chamberlain back. She made a video where she kind of addressed it, but she basically said, I like me better now. And I think that could have just been the video itself. I would have been more than happy with that if she just said, I like me now more than I liked me before. And I would have been so content with that, because I think, you know, people hyper focus on people staying the same their whole career. She started out when she was 16, I think. It was either 15 or 16 that she started her channel, and she is 18 now. She's like an adult, you know, she can do adult things, and she's not going to be the same. And I think people from the ages of about 15 to like 20 change so drastically. You pretty much change from week to week. Like what I thought last month is definitely not what I think now. It's just you constantly change because you're still kind of growing up and you're still evolving, and you surround yourself with different people and different friends, and everyone brings in different viewpoints. And then once you kind of hit 20s, you kind of stick to your group of friends and you kind of start to think logically and you start to kind of get your mindset right and become a normal human being. So I think you can't expect someone who was 16 to be the same as their You can't expect someone at 16 to be the same as at 18 and at 20 and so forth. You change a lot in your teens, and Emma Chamberlain is just another example of that. And I'm not sure why people constantly hyper focus on this, like, once you're famous you have to just stay the same because this is what we want and this is all we want. We just want you to stay 16 forever. Like, she's not going to be the same at 16, 20, 25, 30. She's going to constantly change and evolve. It's just in your teens it happens a lot more often and a lot more. Essentially, you just change a lot more and a lot quicker. Please just shut up. If you don't like the new content, then just unsubscribe and find your new 16-year-old Emma Chamberlain that's going to change soon, and then unsubscribe to her and then find your own new Emma Chamberlain and then unsubscribe from her once she changes and then find a new Emma Chamberlain, and so on and so forth, because clearly you just don't understand that people grow up. I don't know why I'm popping off so much. God, I don't know why I'm so angry. I think it's just like I haven't eaten and it's also early in the morning. She then turned herself into old Emma Chamberlain, and the thing is, I haven't actually watched her videos in a long time. I don't know why. I just kind of see them as sub box and I just add them to watch it and then just never get to it. But that's me with most videos. I at one point had like 1,000 videos in my watch later because I just can't be arsed, essentially. And then I don't know, I'm just glad that she's okay with who she is, and that she, as much as, you know, people keep on criticizing her and for different things, including growing up, I'm glad that she's just okay with herself and that she's alright with who she is becoming. And that is probably the most important thing to a teenager, is just to appreciate who they are and who they're going to become and who they once were. I know this got deep for absolutely no reason, but I just think everyone just needs to appreciate themselves in every stage in their life, and I'm glad Emma Chamberlain is appreciating this stage in her life. Now, Brandt. He used to make Vine videos where he would take off his t-shirt and grind against the floor. I'm pretty sure that was him. Or he would just dance without his t-shirt. He was one of those. He would dance with his boys in the background. They were doing the whole thing. I don't know why this is what I decided to do. And he tweeted out saying this: porn will ruin your marriage. Porn will ruin how you view women. Porn will ruin how sex was intended. Is the silent killer because people either don't talk about it or they actually think it's okay. This is not okay. So, what do I think about this? I want to know, first of all, what led up to this moment. I also want to know what his wife found on his hard drive. Please let me know. I would really appreciate just seeing like an hour before he tweeted that tweet out. Like, just what happened in the household the hour before he tweeted that out, because I'm pretty sure she found some nasty shit and she's just not okay. She had a go at him and he's just like, nope, bad. We're not doing that anymore. It will ruin your marriage just like it's doing to mine. I'm joking, please don't sue me. I don't know if you can even sue me for that, but at this point I'm just being careful. All jokes aside, do what you want it's always my thing. Do what you want as long as it doesn't hurt other people and as long as it doesn't hurt yourself and the people you care about, so on and so forth. But do what you want without shaming others for doing something else. So if you don't want to watch porn, perfectly fine, but don't shame people for thinking it's okay and watching it. If you don't want to have sex before marriage, perfectly fine, but don't shame people that do want to have sex before marriage. It is just a thing of like, accept yourself and accept other people. I feel like people like him don't actually accept themselves, and they don't accept who they are and what they do and the choices they've made, so they feel the need to constantly shame people that do the opposite thing. Because this whole thing of like, girl, I wish I had sex before marriage and I didn't, and I'm not doing it, and anyone that does, you guys. Because it's just like a thing of they're doing something that I'm not, and I'm not taking part in this. And humans as a whole just have this thing of like FOMO. We're just like, we just don't want to miss out on things, and we don't like when people are doing something we can't do, so we just, instead of doing it or accepting that we can't do it, we shame them for doing it. This was a whole ramble on human beings, but I think that's exactly how they work. Usually if someone's like a normal human being and someone else is rich and they're doing rich people things, that normal person feels the need to shame that rich person for doing rich people things because they are missing out on that. Instead of trying to get money to be able to do that, they just instead shame that person for being rich and doing rich people things, because it's easier than actually trying to make money, right? Like, hating on someone is so much easier than actually getting a good job or starting your own business or whatever. It's always easier to write a shitty tweet than to actually do that thing. I think it's just the thing of like, he's just probably saying, oh, I wish my wife let me watch porn. But yeah, I don't know what their logic is. I know he's very religious, and like overly religious people scare me. I think a healthy level of religiousness is just fine. I wish I believed in something, because sometimes my day just goes to shit and I'm like, I just want someone to let me know why my day is so shit. And instead I'm just like, well, my day is shit because I'm useless and I didn't do anything, and that is why my day is shit, and I can only blame on myself. And I wish there was some higher power that I could just kind of blame things on. And also, you know, when they can like pray for things, and just prayers make them feel better, and I wish I had like a cushion of support, just a prayer, but I don't. I know he's very religious, and this is probably just another thing of being religious. You don't like porn, don't shame others for decisions that you're not making and they are, as long as no one's being hurt. James Charles has been recently really going hard at the Dobre twins, brothers, whoever they are, for doing that meet and greet where a fan paid like $600 to then have them not even smile for the picture and just kind of ignore her the whole time. And he's been like shaming them, making parodies of that video. And then recently a TikTok came out that a fan saw him at the airport, took a picture with him, and then his friend came out the toilet and she didn't get to take a picture with James Charles because she was in the bathroom. And he walks up to James Charles again when he's on his laptop and goes, "Hi, my friend didn't get to take a picture with you. Do you think you could take a quick picture?" And he just did not flinch, like completely ignored him. And apparently James Charles' manager just went, "Oh, I think he's a little bit busy right now," and that was that on that. And he compared it to that meet and greet. First of all, you did not pay $600 to meet James Charles. You happened to be at the same airport that he was at. That's just convenience more than anything. That's not the same thing. You didn't spend any money to meet James Charles. You spent money to go on a flight. But I do think it's a bit rude, of course, but don't compare it to people actually spending their money or their parents' money to meet someone who is completely ignoring them. James Charles was in a public setting. He was doing his own thing, and he didn't really owe anyone a picture either. And he did take a picture with you, and at that point I think maybe he was just working, and he could have looked up and replied to you and said, "Sorry, I'm kind of busy," but he didn't, so that makes him a bit of a head, really. James Charles, no matter what you can say, he's always very good at meet and greets. He always you know, takes loads of pictures and chats and does the whole thing. So yeah, that wasn't very comparable, but still not very nice. James Charles had his sister merch for a while, and it's boring to say the least. But now you look at Tana Mongoose came out with merch that looks oddly similar. You let me know what you think about that. It's just quite laughable how little effort YouTubers put into merch sometimes, and this is a great example of they're probably using the same factory and the same place to design their merch, and it's just like, let's just get some basic shit out there that the teens will eat up. It's just, I don't know, keep your money and spend it somewhere else is essentially what I'm saying. But you know. Also, Ollie White, he worked in McDonald's for a minute. Ollie White is one of those privileged British vloggers like Alfie Days and Zoella and all of them. And yeah, where do I start? He this whole video was a brand deal with McDonald's. So he starts the video off not saying, "Hey, so McDonald's sponsored me for this video, and essentially it's just going to show me what it's like to be in a working environment. I haven't worked in McDonald's before. I am a YouTuber, so it's a very different setting, and I'm just so happy that I could go and experience it and just see what other people go through in their everyday life. Instead, he said, oh my god guys, did you know that you can apply to work in McDonald's through Alexa? It was like a whole, trying to make his fans look like idiots, when really this whole video was just a big sponsorship. And yeah, he did disclose that in his description. That is not my point, that is not the point I'm making. It's more just like, instead of making this like a, I'm just trying to see what other people do in their everyday lives and trying to learn and just be more appreciative of people in customer service, what he did was, oh my god, it's so exciting, I'm going to have a job in McDonald's, wow. And it was just cringe, and also just, there was just a lack of self-awareness there, because I've been doing YouTube for a while and I know a few YouTubers, and hear me out, he definitely made more from that one brand deal than most of those workers in McDonald's make in their whole year. Let that sink in. So for him to be so excited to go and work in McDonald's for an hour or two, when those people go there every day for 8 hours and make less in a year than he does from that one video, you could kind of tell that everyone working in that McDonald's was just giving him the side eye, like, what is this overly excited guy doing here? He was excited over the stupidest things. Like, there was a burger heater, and the guy was like, yeah, you just put the burgers in and then you close it and it heats them up, and he went, amazing. And yeah, I just think the whole video, he didn't, like, he wasn't doing anything necessarily wrong, but it's just a complete lack of self-awareness, a complete just lack of like understanding of how real people function, and kind of a mockery of just real jobs. I wish he had done this video differently. I wish it took a different turn. I wish it was more of like an appreciation for people in customer service, because customer service is f***ing awful. I hated working in customer service, and I'm so glad that I don't have to do it again. But I have, because I did that, I can now appreciate where I'm at and the fact that I don't have to work in customer service anymore. And I will forever have respect for people that do work in customer service. I'm always like, so let's just go above and beyond with being nice to people in customer service, because I'm like, I get it, I hated it. Just be self-aware as a YouTuber. I feel like a lot of YouTubers just lack self-awareness, and they think everyone just has these nice privileged lives, and they don't. And people are just struggling to make ends meet and struggling, you know, living paycheck to paycheck, not because they're blowing their money on Gucci, but because they have to pay bills and rent and have a family to keep. So keep what? That made it sound like they're just holding people hostage. They have a family to look after. And this is just like the Alfie Days £1 challenge all over again. I'm just so confused as to why people think this is okay. If you're rich, just be rich. Don't try and pretend that you're broke. This isn't some kind of a challenge like, oh, look at me in poverty, because you're not. You're just not. And you can never understand people that are in poverty unless you started out in poverty and now you're rich. But that's a whole different story. The Ace family did it as well, where they worked in like a pizza place or something, and it's just like, just shut up. Just shut up. When will YouTubers realize that that is just not a good video idea? After all these criticisms, after all these commentary channels making videos on these people doing these poverty challenges, when will YouTubers finally realize that this is just not good content? Just stick to being rich, because that is just what you do best. You're just good at being rich. Another thing that happened is the Ace family, once again, so they did a whole like pumpkin patch in their back garden video, where they just had like thousands of pumpkins in their back garden, I guess. And apparently the people that they got the pumpkins from had to like load all of those pumpkins into their truck, and so on and so forth. They did a lot of work, a lot more than they were asked to do with other people, and that their job description entails. Big Austin McBroom, the millionaire, could not even tip them, like zero, did not even a tip, nothing. And all he did was offer to take a picture of them or like sign something for them, because everyone is an Ace family fan, and like autographs pay the bills. I think it's so rude if you make someone go above and beyond for you in a workplace. Like if you go to a shop and they go above and beyond with getting you your things and your sizes and so on and so forth, and they're running back and forth to make it a good experience for you, you should tip them. If you know, you're at a restaurant and someone is really trying to make this like a good experience for you, please tip them. These people do not have millions of dollars in their bank account, unlike you, Austin, and if just this $100 per person that helped you would not have made a single dent in your bank account. You wouldn't even notice that that money was gone, and you couldn't just make someone's day and just be like, hey, have some extra cash. Another thing they did was they made a video where Elle, I'm pretty sure that's her name, is the little daughter, and Austin had to rate Catherine's Halloween outfit. The original title was Elle and Austin rate Catherine's seductive outfits or something crazy like that, and then they changed it after they got backlash, but we saw it, we screenshotted it. Ew, shame on you. I hate family channels. I fucking hate family channels. This is grim. So this is a slightly more serious one. There was a tweet that came out about Todrick Hall when he had his Straight Outta Oz tour, and that Chester Lockhart basically sexually assaulted one of the people working in the tour, and that instead of punishing Chester, Todrick actually punished the guy who was assaulted, and now his next story is being cancelled. Is it because you didn't sell enough tickets, or is it because you're guilty about what happened? I don't know, but nothing's really come out about this, and I'm just wondering if he's going to be held accountable for this and if it's actually true. Of course, I'm not saying that this is 100% true. It's just a tweet that I thought I'd acknowledge, that I haven't seen many YouTubers actually acknowledge the fact that this is happening. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below anything in the comment down below, and subscribe because I post videos every other day now. So turn on my post notifications and you will know when that's happening. Follow my socials, they'll be in the description down below, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys!